Good day everyone, Ducktable here, and welcome back to the Mini Theory Corner, where I examine whatever idea crosses my mind, but I don't have enough information to make a more proper theory about it. So, the one crossover we have been waiting for over a year has finally come to an end, and now we wait for the next one. And while I, as pretty much everyone in the community, is excited for a Guardian to fall into Terra, I noticed something regarding Fall. Back in my random info video, shameless link up here, I mentioned how Xiaohei and company weren't given an actual explanation as to how they arrived to Terra. Personally, I thought this was due to a slip from the writer's part, or even due to time constraints, since said crossover happened in such a short notice. But then we got to Monhan, and the very same thing occurred once more. Returning to Xiaohei's side of the events, we also saw an Originium slug wandering in their world, being the one who guided them to Terra, as well as what seems to be gravitational and temporal disturbances due to the damaged wall of reality. Yes, I say damaged. It will make sense in a moment. But I would like to make something clear. The whole appearance in this trailer are not related to this phenomena. This is one of Xiaohei's abilities. Going out to the hunters who were minding their own business in their world, when suddenly a bright light shadowed everyone. It wouldn't surprise me if they also found the same anomalies and the odd creature lost in their world as well. I mean, think about it. Rátalos are way big to just fall into a hole without a fight. Meaning something must have pulled them into Terra, and then bam, they found themselves in a I hope that wasn't enough to summon the rat. Meh, I will drop that once I got there. Back on topic. Once, I can chalk it up as a slip. Twice, can be a coincidence. So if this ends up happening a third time, there is definitely a narrative reason for these crossovers to happen. And if you have a certain preference for sci-fi, you might already get a couple of ideas regarding what we have seen. But blah, I hear you say, because yes, I hear everything. How can these events have similarities when the very first one had nothing of the like? If anything, it was a more standard affair of isekais by device going haywire. Well, dear viewer, to that I answer with another question. What if I tell you that maybe all crossovers we are getting, and will be getting in the future, are but a result of the events in Originium Dust? Let's analyze what happened there. Stereotypical mad scientist makes use of a weird device powered by some random stuff, Originium in this case, to change the laws of reality as we know it, starting with teleporting a whole laboratory to another world, and then jumping to evolution. That's going from physics to biology. Never change mad scientist stereotypes. Ignoring the subsequent OSIA violations which follow it in that event, we can inquire that whatever the scientists did to Terra's dimensional wall, it had replicas all over the globe, and thus leaving weak points waiting for highly marketable characters to cross over. Which I can see it work from a narrative perspective. It makes it easier for everyone to explain how did said crossover happened, and focus more in the story born from it. Not to mention that, in good hypergrid fashion, this can become a running narrative on the background, regarding how these holes in reality can affect the planet, and even start to hint at what could lie in between worlds. After all, this setup should sound familiar to some, as it makes me think of a particular 80s show. You might have heard about it before. Was a bit popular back in the day. Not to mention, we also know there are extra-dimensional entities in the northern tundras of Terra, slowly sleeping in and corrupting all they touch. Imagine what could happen if they learn there are other points of entry all over the planet. It could potentially become into a tournament. Who will destroy civilization first? The sea terrors of the demons? Of course, these are big jumps in logic from my part, since this is but the first two instances of this event happening, so the information is very limited. Not to mention that we never knew where did that Originium came from. It could have been that there are already dimensional holes in the planet, and the scientists messing with the stone caused a return to sender effect to take place. As always, so many possibilities, so little info. Personally, I would rather have preferred to wait for Destiny's 2 crossover to happen for me to make a more grounded theory. but we have to wait at least 1 year for it to happen in CN, plus 6 months for a global release. So better theorize while I can. But what do you think? Do you think these events could be related? Or could there be a bigger involvement from the beings up north? Be sure to leave your commentaries down below, so we can see what could be the reason behind this all. For now, that's enough theorizing from my part. This has been Dr. Blob, thanking you all for your time, and humbly asking for a share, like and subscribe. Every number counts for the algorithm after all. And as always, stay healthy everyone.